Seattle, much more worthy of wasting time. Justin Dillon went to San Antonio. He was hyped when he came in. He was supposed to be one of their bigger homegrown guys. Never really panned out. Ramon Torres didn't play a lot last year, but obviously a big part of becoming one of the best MLS dynasties ever. Miguel Ibarra, a couple games, didn't have the Minnesota effect that he had. Jovan Jones, not sure where this dude plays on the field, but obviously he was depth everywhere, so they lost him. Gustav Svensson, a pretty decent loss. He didn't play a lot as well as João Paulo came in, but he was always good to fill in that last 15, 20 minutes, lock it down and turn away the key type of thing. And Trey Musey and Mr. Jordan Morris, of course, obviously the biggest loss. Best attackers over the last few years. I don't think he's replaceable. I don't care who you try to get. I think that his combination of strength, speed, footwork, and finishing ability is unmatched. 43 goals, 21 assists in his career, but he creates tons of chances. They made João Paulo official, though, so that's really cool. Spencer Ritchie came in for Spencer Ritchie came in for goalkeeper depth, and Kellen Rowe gave you some wing depth. I have to assume this is him trying to fill the Morris role, but my question to you, my friends, can Seattle do anything to replace Mr. Morris? Connor.
I think that they can. I don't think that they did. But to say that Jordan Morris is completely unreplaceable seems kind of a bold statement just because.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a quality player, but you don't think that they could get someone else that could do something similar to what he did? Like anybody in the entire world?
With the way that their team is structured, their finances are structured, without revamping the whole team, no, I don't think so. And I'll die on that hill. I don't think that there's somebody who fills that role like Jordan Morris did. Unless
Maybe
you're
not exactly.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Maybe not exactly, but I think that you can get someone that can at least I guess I'm thinking about it as like an impact way, not necessarily fitting the system. Like I think that you can get someone that can have the same or similar impact that he has on the team, as opposed to not just like, can you bring in a guy that fits his hole in the system? Because then I'd probably be more inclined to agree with where you stand on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think impact-wise, you can find someone that can bring a similar impact that he had, but obviously it'd be tough. I mean, he was fantastic for them.
So here's what I'll say. And this is my reason where I say no. I think the only way, because the system favored him so well, and this is where I don't think you'll find somebody who can have the same impact as him without doing this very one thing. If you want him to minimize his loss, the only thing you can do is to change your entire formation, the entire way you play. Because I think as you watch Seattle, it was so focused on what he could do 1v1, getting him into space, getting him in behind. It was all focused on him. You had Rui Diaz and Ladero always trying to set him up. The only way that you can get away from that is completely reinventing the way you play. And I think that is something that won't happen. So what you're going to see is a lot of growing pains for a team like this. You're going to see a team that that is going to try and stick with the way that it was and fail for the first time in years. And I don't think that you'll find anybody in the next few windows who can do what he did. He was just different. And you're either going to have to completely reinvent it or you're going to have to overload all the players on that side just so you can get away from it. But Schmetzer's got a lot to play with if he wants to get away from that. But that's just me. I don't think you'll find somebody to play in his spot to make the same impact that he did unless you reinvent the entire way that you play. Adam.
Sorry. I want to say the same thing I said for Portland, in that it's because it's Seattle, magically they'll be fine and still among the top teams in the West. But yeah, I feel like this is a step back. I agree with Connor that as good as Jordan Morris is, I don't think he's like absolutely unreplaceable. I'm sorry that he's injured right now, so I hope he's
Right. True shout
Yeah.
out. We hope you
Okay.
are recovering well whenever you eventually listen to this, because I know you do,
Yeah.
Mr. Morris. But no, yeah, that was heartbreaking when I saw that, man.
But yeah, I think Seattle will be fine. Like they're still going to finish top 5 in the conference. I'm really not worried about them.
Okay. Grades. I gave him a C-. And the only reason is because we want this league to be a selling league. And this is kind of going off of what Connor said for a few teams now, because that Morris move is exactly what we want to see. But Kellen Rowe isn't Jordan Morris. That's plain and simple. Schmetzer's got some magic to do if he wants to keep this team competing for that top 1 or 2 spot. I think they'll be fine playoff wise, but to be one of the best in the league, I think he's got some work to do. Anybody take it away. I don't mind anymore.
I'm thinking I'm gonna go with kind of somewhere between like a D+, C-, because I think the loss of Morris will definitely be felt, and they certainly didn't bring anybody in that I see honestly remotely filling in his shoes. And they didn't really bring anybody else in outside of that, other than a couple of people for depth, but they needed to do that because they lost a lot of their depth guys as well. And, I think that they got worse. So I don't feel like they should get any, I don't think they got like dramatically worse. Like they're going to go from top to bottom of the table, but they definitely got a little bit worse. So I'm feeling D+, C-.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm excited to see their new number 10. Can anyone? Who's their new number 10?
Got me.
Gianluca Busio.
What?
Am I thinking of the wrong team?
You're on the wrong team, my friend.
It's been a long day. I'm so sorry.
I thought that was a joke.
I thought he was kidding, man. I'm like, wait, what? Oh, man.
No, it's been a long day.
Kick him off the top.
I'm so sorry.
You're one team early.
I'm one team early. What are we doing?
Grades for Seattle.
Sorry, I scrolled down too far. I thought I gave him a C.
I mean, I could have told you gave him a C. That's all you do. But
Yeah, it was just C's for everybody except for like the very few teams. No, if you told me any other team lost arguably for the best players in the league in their given positions, I would be like, oh, that team's finished. But it's Seattle, and they'll find guys off the street and be fine.
I mean, I don't think losing Jordan Morris gets you a C ever, but I agree they'll be okay.